I am going to share the cold outbound sales email that I use that gets me a 20% plus positive reply rate every single time. I'm going to share the exact email with you. My name is Arjun. I'm the founder and CEO of Dula. Dula is a business in a box for e-commerce, and we are a venture-backed tech startup based here in New York City that successfully raised over $13 million of venture capital from some of the world's best investors, including Y Combinator, Nexus Venture Partners, HubSpot Ventures, and notable angel investors like Graham Stephan, Cody Sanchez, Sahil Bloom, Dharmesh Shah, and more. And along the way, we've helped over 10,000 entrepreneurs from over 175 countries not just start their dream business, but scale it too. I promise you by the end of this video, I'm going to share the exact email copy I use to send cold outbound sales emails that generates a 20% plus positive reply rate. Not a reply saying, hey, unsubscribe me from your list, although you might get some of those. And the way I'm going to cover this is in 3 steps. I'm first going to talk about the list. Then I'll show the exact email I use. I promise you the exact copy, subject line, body, even the email signature. And finally, I'll finish up with the follow-up because in life, the sale is made in the follow-up. First things first, let me just tell you a story of how I got into this. We realized that partnerships were working for Dula. We actually had people coming inbound and randomly we would find customers or find partners. So we decided, hey, wait a second, why can't we find more of these partners and just reach out to them? And the value prop clearly resonates. Let's do more of it. So at first, I tried many different things to try to get in touch with these partners and I didn't have much success. But then by following this playbook, we actually were able to get a 20% plus positive reply rate. So let me share the very first thing you have to do. It's all about the list. It doesn't matter how good the email is. And I think this is a really good email. Candidly, I was a bit scared to share this email because, I don't know, maybe you're a competitor listening and you might use the same thing. But hey, a rising tide lifts all boats. So I'll actually share the email. But ultimately, it doesn't matter how good the email is. Doesn't matter how optimized your sequencing is. If the list is bad, you're not going to get responses. And what I mean by is the list bad is your list actually focused on your ideal customer profile or your ideal partner profile? So if you're reaching out to individual customers, the list has to be refined for that ideal customer profile. Or if you're reaching out to potential partners, it has to be refined for the ideal partner profile. And the reason why that matters is if it's the right partner and you are reaching out and providing value, it's obviously going to be an easier sell because you're not even selling. You're just adding value and solving a problem. That's the way to reframe it. It's not even sales. I call it a cold outbound sales email. It really should be a cold outbound. I'm solving your problem for you and I just showed up in your inbox. That's the holy grail. That's freaking amazing. So what I'd ask you to do if you haven't done this exercise already is create your ideal customer profile document and create your ideal partner profile document and actually write out the defining characteristics of who is the exact customer, their age, their location, what they do, where they hang out. Write that information out so you know exactly who you're reaching out to. And that way you can make sure are the people on my list, do they match that profile? And same thing for partners. Who are your top partners now? What are their characteristics? What do they look like? What's their size, their revenue? Put that onto a list and make sure your list matches that. So let's assume you've done the homework and you've come up with your list. Now I'm going to share the secret sauce. This is the email that gets me an over 20% positive reply rate. So let's go through step by step. The first thing is this email is really short. And the reason for this is you've probably seen so much spam in your inbox. If it's a long email, instantly people are going to tune it out. It's just too much information. So the first thing is the email should be mobile friendly. Literally any email I send, I want it to be so that someone can read it on their mobile phone. I'm imagining they're boarding the train, they're walking or they're ordering a burrito at Chipotle. If they got this email, it should be readable on their phone and they should be able to reply to it. So let's break through this entire email. First thing for the subject line, look, you can A/B test lowercase versus capitalized. I've just seen from A/B testing, lowercase does better. So that's one piece of secret sauce. Now, the whole email, here's the goal. On the list, I am reaching out to the decision maker. So that's either the owner, the CEO. I'm reaching out to the most senior person I can. Short and sweet email. I'm saying, hey, could you connect me with the appropriate person for insert the department? So if you're selling HR software, you could say human resources. If you're looking to get in touch with the finance team, for finances. If I'm reaching out for partnerships, I'll say partnerships/sponsorships, because oftentimes partnerships might involve a sponsorship. The next line is just thanks for your help in my name. So here's what's actually happening in this email. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. You're getting a cold email. Look, CEOs, founders, they read every email. They might not respond, but they read every email. And what you're doing is you're emailing and you're asking this person, hey, can you just put me in touch with the person in charge of this? And you know what happens? I've seen this happen at least 1 in 5 times. You're 20% plus. The email is so short and sweet. Someone can literally answer from their phone. And what people do is 2 things. They'll either just hit forward on the email and they'll send it to the relevant person on the team, or they'll reply themselves and say, hey, how can I help? Now, the other thing that happens before that is I'm not hyperlinking. I'm not doing anything in the body that's crazy, that can actually reduce deliverability. In the email signature, that's where the magic happens because I have my name, then I have the company link there, right? Founder and CEO. So people might scroll down, they might click on that to see what the company is. And then underneath, I have my LinkedIn profile. So what's happening is I send the email. We're assuming the list fits the partner profile. So someone's going to see it. They might not have heard of your company, but they'll look at your email. They'll see the domain, arjun@doula.com. They'll go to doula.com. And because the list is refined and you're reaching out to companies where it's going to be very clear when they hit the landing page what you do, automatically the person's going to connect the dots of, oh, I get what they're reaching out for. I didn't even say anything, but your landing page should highlight the problem and the solution well. And then the last part is they'll likely go to my LinkedIn profile. And I post every day on LinkedIn. So from LinkedIn, they'll be able to get a better sense of who I am, the social proof there about me, about the company, and content going out too. That entire effect, here's what happens. I'm asking for the appropriate contact. The founder or CEO or business owner is either going to reply on their own, and I've seen that happen, or they hit forward to the head of partnerships or sponsorships on the team. Now, imagine you were that person on the team and your boss, the CEO or founder, just forwarded that email to you. That's like getting a directive saying, go respond to the email. You're getting the instruction from your boss. So that'll actually happen where it's forwarded, and then that person will respond to me saying, hey, this is my name. I got your email. How can I help you? Boom, you're in the door. So to summarize here, that email is so dead simple. You're asking for the appropriate contact, and a mistake I used to make is in that first email, I used to ask for everything. Here's our partner success kit. We can offer you this. Here's the commission. And what I realized was happening is there's just too much information. It's like you're asking to get married on the first date versus just saying, hey, do you want to get dinner here? Or do you just want to get dinner? So in this case here, all I'm asking for is I'm not even asking to get dinner. I'm just asking, hey, can you connect me with the person who I want to ask to go get dinner? That's the email. I want to go to the last part here, which is the follow-up. The most important thing, and I'll give you a stat, is that most sales happen on or after the fifth response. 81% of responses or sales come after the fifth response. So let me say that one more time. 81% of sales happen on or after the fifth contact. So if you've only reached out once, you haven't even hit the threshold to say it's not working. You have to at least have 5 touches, and even then, only 81% of people might close the deal. So from there, there's people who respond and sales don't happen too. With that in mind, you've sent this email. It's a good email. I'll actually get responses in that first email, but you need to remember, what if you sent that email when someone was on the car and they saw it and they forgot to respond? You also have to remember, I think there's 2 types of people in life, inbox 0 people and inbox 10,000. There's not really an in between. If the person you're emailing isn't an inbox 0 person, you have to hit them at the right time when they're on their laptop and ready to respond. So that is why the sale is made in the follow-up. It's something imprinted in my brain and I think about it all the time. You have to follow up. So in terms of the follow-up sequence, right? You've sent this first email. I like to do the same thing for follow-ups. Keep it super simple, short and sweet, mobile optimized. Email 2 might be something like, I like this line. Don't mean to be a bubble, but floating this to the top of your inbox. It's a bit playful, but really all I'm doing is just bumping it in the thread. I don't forward the email. I just reply directly in the thread so the context is there. The third email might be, hey, circling back here. And then the fourth email might be, hey, if you prefer chat, here's my WhatsApp or cell. I could also chat on LinkedIn. And then the fifth email, I do a breakup email. The breakup email is, hey, I reached out to you because, and then now I'm actually explaining why I reached out. I thought you'd be a good fit because we work with, and I'd insert 3 other people in their space because I've done my research on the ideal partner profile or the ideal customer profile. The last email I say is, it sounds like, or partnerships or growth or whatever the problem you're solving might not be the top priority at this time. No sweat. I'll circle back in a few weeks. Thanks. That oftentimes gets a response. I'm breaking up and I'm not even giving the option to say, should I reach back? I just say, hey, I'll reach back in a few weeks, because ultimately, if your product solves a solution, you're doing that person a favor by solving the problem for them. So again, I'll send this appropriate contact email. I'll do 3 follow-ups. I usually space them out, maybe every other day between emails. You don't have to get too scientific there. And then the 5th email is the breakup email. Now, the other thing I'll do, which is important, is I'll actually connect with the person after I send the first email. I'll try to connect on LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram. It depends on your industry, but my goal there is they're getting another ping. So that way, if I connect on LinkedIn, even if they don't respond to my email, they're getting another ping on LinkedIn, and I post every day. So if they don't respond there, but they connect on LinkedIn, they're going to keep seeing my face and seeing my name, which in the future means they're more likely to respond to my email. So there you have it. That's a wrap. Just to summarize, step 1 is you need to have the right list. It doesn't matter how good your follow-up game is or how good your cold email game is. If the list sucks, you're not going to have success. The list is seriously the most important thing. Step 2 is the email. Again, to summarize here, mobile optimize, short and sweet, line breaks for readability, only 1 CTA per email. Don't hit them with the kitchen sink. Don't ask to get married on the first date. Appropriate contact. Hey, first name, could you please connect me with the appropriate contact for the department you're trying to get in touch with? Thanks for your help. First name, email signature with your name, your title, the company, your LinkedIn profile, and then 3 follow-ups at least with a breakup email. That's the follow-up. Remember, the sale is made in the follow-up. That's a wrap. Thanks so much for watching. And speaking of outbound sales for your business, if you are looking to scale your business and are looking for a trusted partner to manage your entire back office, Doula is your ultimate business-in-a-box solution. We help with everything from managing your LLC to bookkeeping to business taxes. That's right, we file your business taxes for you. So check us out at doula.com. You can schedule a free consultation or book a demo with the team today. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.